Hello, welcome to the TryLine podcast. I'm your host, Bo. 4 from 4.
Host. Sorry.
You jumped the gun. I wasn't even going to introduce you because I went 4 from 4.
Yeah,
Finally.
Not me.
I picked all the games right. It took a split round to do it, but I did it. I'm your host, Bo. This is my co-host, Denny. Some call him the people's host. Some call him Denny. Yeah, definitely Ma. I like that version a little bit better. 2 from 4 was it for you?
Anyway, let's get straight into the news.
Straight into the
news. I'm not going to talk about my tipping record last week.
Or the whole year.
Yep. Yeah, all the whole year.
No, let's go.
Anyway, some breaking news today. Brett Morris officially announced his retirement from the NRL.
Yeah.
Made his debut in 2006.
26.
You can't go 26. 2006.
Yep, 2006.
He played for the Dragons, Roosters, won a premiership with them both.
Yeah.
Played 276 NRL games for those clubs, scoring 176 tries, 15 Origin appearances for New South Wales, and 18 Test matches for Australia.
Absolute gun.
Yeah,
It was one of those players that just kept getting better. I think this year, his early form, last year for the Roosters, I thought he was great. Grew into a bit of a fullback too. I thought he could play fullback quite well, especially at the back end of his career. Sad to see him go. I wonder where that leaves Josh, if we'll get another season out of him or not. It remains to be seen.
I think he'll play on.
Yeah, but I feel like Brett said he's going to go into coaching, so he's not going to be lost to the game.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, definitely a good player. Great for New South Wales.
Yeah. I said yeah, definitely just then.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, I was looking up and I think there were only 4 other players that had scored more tries than him.
Okay.
I can't remember their names, but I know there was Menzies and Billy Slater. The other ones were people that I hadn't watched.
Okay.
So he's definitely up there in the tries, and he'll be
Steve
missed.
Menzies, absolute gun back in the day too.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah. NRL, some NRL Origin news.
Mm-hmm.
Reid Marnie, gone.
Yeah, gone.
Which is unfortunate. I thought he was a real chance of getting a shot, at least in the first game. He's still a chance to make the second game. Apparently that shoulder injury isn't too bad.
Yeah.
Ben Hunt comes into the side. There was some talk that he was going to be in the side even before this round. Some talk that there was some talk that he'd be rushed in the side. I'm happy to see him there. Do you think he comes into the 17?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
I do too.
I think he'll play that 14 role. I don't think, even though Queensland came out and, like, in that team list they had Brimson at 14, I don't think Brimson will be in the 17, to be honest.
Yeah, well, there's still a chance that he'll play fullback, Brimson, because I know all the reports have been that it'll be Val and Felt will come into the side. That hasn't been confirmed yet, but that seems like the way they're going to go. Brimson's still a chance to play fullback. I do think they'll go Val to fullback. Like we said that a little while ago. If Callum Ponga's ruled out, we think Val would go to fullback.
Yeah. Well, I think Brimson makes a better 18th man than what Kyle Felt would.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to have Brimson on the bench in the 14 and then you got Ben Hunt coming in, I think Ben Hunt takes that 14 spot and it's better to have Brimson.
And Ben Hunt makes a better 14 than what Brimson would.
He does,
so it works out really well for Queensland. From the New South Wales camp, not a lot going on up there. Dane Gagai, he's definitely ill. I don't even know if he'll play. They're like poor Queensland. They got injuries, they got illness. We're just really struggling. New South Wales are flying. It's going to be really tough for Queensland. As for every year.
Tedesco's got a bit of a hip issue.
No, Tedesco's fine. All New South Wales are fine. You will probably win by 100 points. Queensland, we're really sore, frail. We've got to go to Townsville, which is sad for us. It's going to be a really hard night up in Townsville for the boys.
I hope so.
We're going to get into our predictions on Wednesday. We're going to try and not bury the lead there, but it's looking pretty good for New South Wales, if we're being honest.
Yeah, if we're being honest, it looks pretty good. I don't want to get my hopes up because last year I was thinking, New South Wales win 3-0 and end up getting beat. So
last year was terrible. Last year was very, very bad.
So I'm not getting ahead of myself. So Queensland, they might win.
It's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a great game. I'm really excited to see how Nathan Cleary goes. The official tip from the TryLine podcast, by the way, Manly have the Cowboys on Friday night. Tommy Daly, Jake Trbojevic. I'm guessing none of them will back up, personally.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either.
And the Cowboys right now are $3.40. So go smash that, punters. And let's get into what are we doing next, mate? The Sharkies.
Yeah, Sharkies, they've said that they won't re-sign, what's his name? Shaun Johnson, Josh Dugan, or Aaron Woods.
I think What were you
I was going to say Adam.
Adam Wood.
Yeah.
Adam West.
Yeah.
I think that's a good sign from the Sharks. I think they've come out and made their intentions clear. I listened to a little bit of an interview with Aaron Woods on the weekend, and he was pretty happy that they come out and were just honest with him.
Yeah.
And Craig Fitzgibbon was pretty upfront with him, so that's good. They've prioritised signing younger talent in Toby Rudolph and Talakai, which is smart, and they've brought in Nico Hines. And don't forget, Cam McInnes is going there too. So
didn't they race on Will Kennedy as well?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure. They might have, but that's all good signs for the Sharks. They had a bit of an aging roster, so they're trying to turn that around. I can't see Dugan getting another contract personally. Reports are that he's on $800,000 to $900,000 a year now. He's not walking into another team anywhere near that.
Yeah.
So I think Super League's probably his best bet if he doesn't retire. He's had knee injuries and stuff. I think Shaun Johnson is a good chance of getting a contract, and I also think Aaron Woods, because I think Aaron Woods is willing to take less money to stay in the NRL. So I think he's a chance of getting a contract as well. But let's talk about Shaun Johnson. He's been linked to the Bunnies. Now,
the Bunnies.
I wanted to talk about this because they didn't re-sign Adam Reynolds, right?
Yep.
Now, the story was that they wanted to go year to year because they were worried he was getting a little bit older, a little bit injury prone, and they'd been burnt on contracts before with GI and Sam Burgess.
Yep.
Now they're going and looking at Shaun Johnson.
Yep.
What's your thoughts?
Rightio. So I took a screenshot of the Bunnies going up. Like, there was a post saying that the Bunnies were after or were in talks with Shaun Johnson or whatever.
Yep.
And so I've sent you a message and been like, well, hold on. I thought they wanted a half that, wasn't going to get injured, or at least the risk of getting injured.
Yep.
Or whatever. So we've gone back, looked at the stats over the last 5 years to see who's played more games, Shaun Johnson or Adam Reynolds, and there's only 61 days between them. So Adam Reynolds is 61 days older than Shaun Johnson.
Yeah.
So since 2016, the start of 2016 season, Shaun Johnson's played 99 games, and Adam Reynolds has played 120.
Yeah. So Adam Reynolds is on the park more than him.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
And he's 2 months older.
So
you're not going that much younger. The only thing I don't mind the signing, but I would have liked them to sign Adam Reynolds as well. So I don't mind either signing.
Yeah.
But I see more upside in Adam Reynolds than I do in Shaun Johnson.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially on the field. Like Shaun Johnson, especially the last few years, has really struggled to get on the park. When he's got on the park, he's played good footy, but I don't remember Adam Reynolds missing too much game time.
No, well, I looked 2016, 2017, I think Adam Reynolds missed a few games.
Yep.
But since then, he's consistently played over 20 games.
I just don't understand it. Now, I can understand if they can get Shaun Johnson relatively cheap. I can understand them not going, because Adam Reynolds was going to command $800,000 roughly. If you can get Shaun Johnson for less than that, maybe it's a good signing.
How much less?
I don't know. They don't. Well, you wouldn't think they're re-signing Benji.
Nah. You think he'll retire at the end of this year?
Well, I think so. I think that's probably it for old Benj.
That's fair.
But he milked another year, so that's all right.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So they've come out and said Origin's going to be refereed. Well, they've come out and said that one, they're going to be sending off high shots, which, I mean, I don't know why they have to come out and say it. It's illegal.
Yeah.
So they should be putting players in the bin for high shots. That has the same feeling to me as the Magic round. When they come out and said, oh, well, this is what we're going to do. And they come out and went overboard. And they admitted they went overboard. Since then, they've not sent a person off for a high shot since Magic round.
Oh, really?
No. It's been 0-0-0. The next 3 rounds. They've put a few in the bin. They put a couple in the bin last week. But they've just penalised more players now. Which they brought in the 6 again to scrap the penalties. Now the penalties are back. We had heaps of penalties on the weekend. That Tigers Penrith game was stop-start constantly.
Yeah, mate.
And Ivan Cleary said in a press conference after the game, penalties in his team's game since Magic Round have gone up 200%.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So where they were playing off the cuff, very attacking football, him and Luai playing what they're seeing, they're having to play a lot of set starts.
Yeah.
And that doesn't suit their game.
No.
It suits more structure sides like South, how they can play that long shift to the left side of the field like they like to play.
Yeah.
That suits them. So I don't know. I would rather see penalties and it stay 13 on 13 than them just binning people and sending people off and it going to 11 to 13. Now, as it pertains to Origin, do you want to see players sent off and sin binned for not like the minor stuff?
No, I don't think anyone does. Anyone that will watch Origin is obviously a league fan.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone wants...
I don't want to see 13 on 10.
Yeah, no.
Well, 13 on 11.
Just from like those incidental hits to the face or whatever.
Which they've stopped binning that kind of stuff, which I like. Well, when it first started, they were binning everything. If you touch the head, they were binning it.
Yeah.
And there's people coming out and say, "Oh, well, you can't touch the head." And now they've gone quiet because they've stopped binning that. So
yeah.
that's just how it is. Now we've gotten into the game, people staying down, which I hate.
Yeah.
Hate it so much. We saw Dane Laurie stay down a few times on the weekend and bounce straight back to his feet. Once he bounced to his feet, he was smiling about it. Tyrone Peachy. That was terrible in the Titans game.
Yeah, it's like they get like just clipped on the face, and they'll go, look at the ref.
Yeah,
and then stay down.
I know.
Come on.
Sivo's terrible for it. He's terrible for holding his neck. Anytime he feels anything back there, he grabs the neck. That's a penalty.
Yeah.
Nathan Brown's really bad for it.
Oh yeah. I think it was last year. You were talking about this before against Sean Bloor, I think it was.
He got jammed twice though, which was good.
He did get jammed twice.
So I don't know how you stop that. It's just got to be an agreement from the players. Like the Origin, both Origin camps have come out and said they're not going to do it, but you can't really police it. You can't give a penalty to the other team really, because then you open yourself up to what about if a player does stay down and you think he's lying and he's actually hurt and you give a penalty? The amount of backlash you'll get for that is just terrible.
Well, I think if you're milking it, like you'll stay down until the penalty's blown, and then you'll hop straight back up. I
think they just make it the mandatory. If you stay down, you got to go off.
Yeah,
I reckon that's the only way to fix it.
Yeah, sure.
If you stay down after getting hit in the head, they don't judge you on the field for HIA. You go for your 15 minutes, and then if you're fine, you come back. That's the only way I can see it happening.
I'd like to see that happen, but I don't think that's...
They won't do it.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, game time. Let's go.
Alrighty, so the games, righto. The first game, we got the Dragons versus the Broncos. Dragons won that one, 52-24.
Jesus.
I know you had a lot to say about a certain fullback in this game, Matt Dufty.
I thought he was outstanding. He got caught in the line early in the game and give up a try, which is pretty much what he does a lot. And at the start, the game was a bit of an arm wrestle, I thought. I thought the Broncos were playing all right. I thought Albert Kelly would look really, really good. Well, even though the Dragons had the better of position and possession in the first half, I thought the Broncos looked really solid. And when they attacked the line, they looked dangerous. Albert Kelly really troubled Jack Bird in that back row spot.
Yeah.
But the stroke of half time, how doesn't Asako knock that ball dead?
I don't know what he's thinking. Surely you could hear your teammates saying, like, calling out that there's a man coming.
But where's your game awareness? There's 20 seconds on the clock. You're not even going to take the drop out.
There wasn't even 20 seconds left, was there?
Maybe 10 seconds. Just boot the ball.
Yeah.
Pick it up, dive on it, do something. Anyway, good chase from Matt Dufty. And then the second half, a little bit of the first half too, it was just outstanding. 2 tries, 5 try assists, 4 line break assists. And a guy that's trying to play for a contract. I thought it was really, really good. Now, I was talking to you after the game because we've both sat here consistently and said, look, he's got deficiencies defensively.
Yeah.
And it seems like there's something going on off the field too. I don't know. Phil Gould come out and said that it's more than footy, them not re-signing him.
Phil Gould?
Yeah. From what I said, what I was saying to you is he's got too much upside to not get a contract in this team. Now, he's not going to get one from the Dragons. It doesn't look like. Where would you like to see him go?
I don't really care much for Dufty, to
I know
be honest.
You don't.
But you were saying that there was a few teams that were saying that they were interested anyway.
Well, so the Broncos apparently hit his management up after the game.
Yep.
We all know Osako had a shocker.
Yeah.
Canberra apparently interested in him, and the Bulldogs are. It seems like anytime there's an outside back on the market, they're interested.
Yeah. Well, just anyone. Anyone.
The Bulldogs are a chance for anyone.
Yeah.
Where would you like to see him go?
You know, if I'm being 100% honest, I really do not care about Matt Dufty and where it will go.
Oh.
But for this, I mean, he would, he'd be a good fit for the Broncos. They've been missing, a fullback for the last few years.
Do you think...
Go on.
Attack-wise...
Yeah.
Geez, he was so good the other night.
In attack, he's a good player. He has his games. But it was against the Broncos.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, how many times can you come out and say Matt Dufty had a great game?
Overall game, like a well-rounded game. Not too many times.
Not too many times.
But I feel like if you could fix his defence, and I feel like defence is fixable. We do say that every week. You can fix your defence.
Yeah.
You can fix that. There's a good fullback there, and I thought he made a really good tackle on Pangai Jr. right on the line. They singled him out at marker, and he ended up stopping him from scoring there. So I do think, I think the Broncos as well. Canberra shocked me. They got Chance there. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, no. Chance is 1,000 times better fullback.
I don't think he's going to get big money, Dufty. I think he's going to have to take a little less money and continue to prove himself.
Yeah.
But I reckon a couple of teams will be a little bit worried that the Dragons aren't re-signing him. They're seeing what's happened on the field, and they're saying, why are they letting this guy go? So there's obviously more to that story. Anyway, the Broncos, terrible.
Yeah, Broncos, terrible. I mean, yeah, Dufty had a good game. I'll give it to him. But, yeah, I don't...
Broncos were terrible.
Yeah, Broncos was so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, rightio. Anyway, on to the Friday night game. We only had the 4 games this weekend. So it's
4 games?
Yeah, pretty quick. So the Friday game, Tigers beat the streak. Beat the Panthers 26-6.
A lot of Panthers fans weren't happy with the Tigers celebrating this win.
Come on.
They're
like saying, but they only won because all our players are out.
You know, teams have to deal with that all the time. The Knights have dealt with it for 2 years.
Yeah.
Half their side's been out for 2 years. The Storm constantly have players out.
Yeah.
So the Panthers on paper had a team to beat the Tigers.
Yeah,
and they were pretty competitive. Their ends of sets were terrible.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed what the Tigers brought on the other night. Like I said, they didn't win the week before, but they had the effort. The Tigers. They lost to the Warriors.
You sure?
They might have won the week before, but they did. They beat the Dragons, didn't they?
Yeah.
So what was the first one? They won, then they lost to the Warriors, and then they beat the Dragons, and they beat the Panthers.
Yeah. So they beat the Knights, lost to the Warriors, beat Dragons, beat Panthers.
Now, see, the Warriors game, we sat here and said they didn't win, but they were up for it. They had the effort. So that's effort on effort on effort. For 4 weeks in a row, they've had decent effort.
Yeah.
That's good signs for Tigers. I think it coincides with the last month. Brooks has been really good. Mm-hmm. I think he's been really solid. I think he was great against the Panthers. I thought Mbai was really good before he went off. Mm-hmm. And a good sign for Moses, a good sign for Luke Brooks, is they made a break on the other side of the field. And Brooks come from his edge, chased the ball, and ended up making the try-saving tackle on the inside. So really good signs for Luke Brooks. I'm really happy for him. The Tigers should be happy with their last month. Just constant effort. If they can keep that up, definitely a smoky for the 8.
Yeah, well, they got Para next week, so that's a loss, so...
Do I think the Panthers would have beat them with their full side? Yes. Do I think that takes anything away from the Titans? The Tigers beating them this week? No.
No. Yeah, well, if it was like, the Panthers full straight side, I don't think they win that.
No,
but yeah, I mean, they
still, you can only beat what's in front of you.
Exactly.
That's what I think. And what did you make of the penalty try? I thought it was fair enough.
Fair enough.
Smacked him in the head.
Yeah.
It's not great. I don't like seeing penalty tries in the best of times, but he did make contact with the head, direct contact.
And he was falling over the try line.
Yeah.
So
then I've seen worse penalty tries be given than that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So I thought it was fair.
Yeah, me too. Anyway, Saturday, pretty close one. Storm beat the Titans 20 points to 14. Bloody Philip Sammy on that last play there. What is
Even
that
Brian
pass?
Kelly earlier.
Oh
God.
God, what was doing? Brian Kelly, mate, he's trying to be a hero.
They just couldn't find a pass. They were one pass away from winning the game 20 times.
Yeah, the pass, like it was there. The game was there to be won, and they couldn't seem to finish. This is what
separates the Storm from a lot of other sides in the comp, I reckon. They've been missing their fullback, 5'8", hooker most of the year. Never give an excuse. Home, away, they could play on the moon. They just show up every single week. They show up ready to play, and they get it done again here. I think the Titans, good on them for keeping the Storm to 20 points. I never thought I'd say that in my life, but 20 points against the best attacking side in the comp that's consistently been able to score. And the Titans had a lot of players out. but they should have won this game.
Well, yeah, they definitely should have.
The Storm give them heaps of opportunities to win the game. Plenty of drop ball coming out of their own end. But Titans just couldn't get it done. I don't know. I don't know where the Titans are at.
Yeah, me neither. Like,
decent effort from them, I guess, but Jesus. So how don't they win the game? That's what I don't know.
Yeah, man, I couldn't tell you. Like,
and that last pass was a shocker.
Yeah.
The last play of the game.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But it was a good kick from Jared Wallace, though.
Great kick.
Great kick.
Couple of little missed kicks. Like Ben Hunt had one in the earlier game.
Oh yeah, try to kick it on the inside. It's come off his foot and gone left, and
they
then they
end up
scoring a try off it.
Yeah, and that Jared Wallace kick.
That was a beauty. That was a good. You would never have thought that he
when he did shake the kick though, I thought the play's dead.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's me too.
Yeah.
End up being a perler. Anyway, the last game in the rounds, the mighty Eels defeat the Knights 40-4.
I just want one more thing to sign off on that game. Brandon Smith, is an absolute gun.
Yeah.
When Harry Grant's fit, he's not going to start. I think he needs any club that needs a hooker needs to go get him, because late in that game he tackled everything. He went out of his way to tackle everything, and you could see him, and he was trying to up the ante. He was screaming at marker, trying to get the players just to tackle. He loves to win. He's a winner. There's a lot of teams that could use a player like him. I just wanted to say that at the end.
Well, I'm pretty sure he came out and said he wanted to stay at Melbourne.
Yeah, well, he likes to win, and that's all he wants to do. And I've listened to him talk and listened to his mindset when he sits on the bench, and he likes coming on when they're behind because he wants to affect change in the game.
Yeah.
And that's how he thinks, I'm going to get on and I'm going to change the game. And he's got a winning mentality. Great player. I think when he gets fatigued, his passing does escape him a little bit out of dummy half.
Yeah.
But he's so quality.
Well, that happens with everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see... Sorry, just go back on the... Yeah, just on that same game. Ash Taylor's service out of dummy half. Did you see his passes, man?
I think Ash Taylor was pretty poor on the weekend too.
Yeah, he was real poor.
Yeah.
I think it was on 3 separate occasions, his passes from dummy half was...
You reckon Fogarty's having a little bit of second year syndrome? He set the world on fire late last year. I thought he was playing really good footy. He really hasn't lived up to that this year. With more quality around him, I feel like he hasn't stood out as much this year.
I think he had a good start to the year. But I think he's in a bit of a slump at the moment, for sure.
I think the whole side's in a slump. It's pretty much give it to David Fafita and hope for the best at times.
Yeah.
Like, give him some early ball, which is what you should do with a player like that, but it doesn't seem like they have a lot going on around that. I really hope they can find some form, because there was so much upside for the Titans this year.
Yeah, 100%.
They just need to... Maybe they're on their way to fixing that defence, because 20 points against the Storm, that's not a lot of teams have been able to do that this year. So hopefully they can find something there.
Yeah, hopefully they can. Anyway, on to the Eels Knights game, the thrashing.
I don't know what
did you make of it?
It felt like the game was over in 30 minutes. The Knights were terrible. Had everything to play for. I think they got 23,000 there.
Donald Jones.
I think they got 23,000.
So that's a big crowd.
A huge crowd.
Yeah.
I think it holds 25. So they had a massive crowd. Everything to play for. It was Old Boys Day, so they had all the players that played in the grand final in 2001. I think they were celebrating that grand final.
Of course.
Yeah, but the big crowd, a lot of emotion. You had all your ex-legends there, and they just tossed up rubbish. I thought they were terrible. They scored one try with about 3 minutes on the clock, I think. Good finish from that Tuala. The Knights the Eels do seem to, when they can get on a roll and they can score points, they seem to bully teams a bit. And everyone, Wonga Blake remembers how to tackle, and he shoots out of line and pumps some people. Gutherson's pouncing on everything, and that's the way the Eels play. They're good front runners.
Yeah.
I think.
Not good when they're coming from behind.
Yeah. And
that's fair.
They probably need to learn the other side of it. If they're gonna win a comp, they need to learn that other side of it. But I did say at the start of the year, the Eels need to win the games that they should win.
Yeah.
If they're going to be competitive. They already dropped one against the Dragons, in which they should have won.
No, well, hold on.
All right.
The Dragons were actually playing really well then.
Yeah, but I still think the Eels are a better side than the Dragons. Yeah. So they should win that game.
Yeah, they should have won that one.
When you're coming up against the Rabbitohs, the Storm, Penrith, I expect the Eels to be competitive, but I don't... Not that I don't expect them to win. I think that should be a close game. When they come up against teams outside the top four, because I see them as a top four side, I think they should be beating a lot of those sides. especially the Dragons, and they should be beating the Knights, and they did beat the Knights. So hopefully this just spurs them on a little bit. Dylan Brown back in the side helps.
Yeah.
Mitch Moses has been outstanding. Blocker, I can't really listen to a lot of what he said, but Blocker said he's been having like a down month. Mitch Moses, I don't see where that's coming from. I think he's been great. I thought he was great when Dylan Brown was out, and I think he was really good against the Warriors when they won.
He was, and he was good against the Broncos when they played a few weeks ago.
I think Mitch Moses has been good. Yeah. Do you think?
Yeah, he's been all right.
Yeah. Anyway, I know you didn't watch this game. You were on boyfriend duties, but the Eels carved them up, mate.
Yeah.
Knights are terrible.
Yeah.
I did ask you about the Knights coach. You think he's not under much pressure right now?
No, not right now. The majority of his time at Newcastle, he's had a lot of injuries to key players. Like Mitchell Pearce has missed. He missed a fair bit of last year.
I think he was injured a lot last year, but I think he battled through a bit. But he was injured most of the year. He's missed a big chunk of this year. Callum Ponga's been in and out of the side.
Blake Green. They were missing Andrew McCulloch last year. Jaden Brayley last year. Connor Watson was out for an extended period of time as well.
Yeah.
So he's had a bunch of injuries.
So how much goodwill does that buy him? Because he's not getting results.
I mean, what did he finish last year?
Finished 7th, but they lost a ton of games late. Like they were shaping as a real powerhouse, and then they kind of limped into the semis.
Yeah, well, I mean, he made the 8 last year. He's not having the best year this year so far.
So if they miss the 8, is he in trouble?
No, if he misses the 8, I think he's still safe. I think it's next year when his team's fully fit, and if they can stay fully fit, how they go.
I think they're a team. They're a town hungry for success, and I think, especially if they miss the 8 this year, there's going to be some chatter around him. There's a couple. Wayne Bennett's off contract. I don't know if they would ever let him back in the building, but he's off contract. Paul Green's off contract. He's the Queensland coach.
I mean,
there was another John Morris, ex Newcastle player as well. He's off contract now. So there's a couple of quality coaches out there. Jeff Tuvey's still out there if anyone's interested in him. So there is a couple of coaches out there. Stephen Kearney's is an assistant coach. I always rated him. So there are coaches out there.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
I do understand your point, and a lot of people did say that. I just think the NRL, they're not too kind to coaches. If you're not winning, you're out.
That's true.
Anyway, that's it for this week's episode. We will be breaking down all of Origin on Wednesday, building into Origin night. Really looking forward to it. It's shaping as a really good game. Anything to add, mate?
Go the Eels.
How's the love life?
My boyfriend, he's not too happy at the moment.
Okay. All right. See you.